Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be getting ready using some of my favorite Chanel products, new and old. I created this makeup look that you see right here, perfect for spring. I will be wearing this look to the couch, to order takeout, watch Netflix. That's all I have planned this evening, unfortunately. But I hope everybody is doing well. You're feeling happy and healthy, not just physically, but mentally too. I wanted to do something a little bit different this week, so every day I have a new Chanel related video planned. That's what most people know me for, and it's always highly requested, and I figured now is the best time to give the people what they want. If you have any suggestions, recommendations, feel free to drop them down below. I do have my list of video ideas, but if you come up with something better, more creative, I'm happy to switch things up. It's been a while since I filmed a get ready with me style video. I'm excited. So my skin is prepped, all I'm wearing is moisturizer, and I'm going to begin with eyes. The look I want to create is going to be light, fresh, spring inspired, but I do have some very shimmery, glittery products here, so in case it falls on my cheeks, I want to be able to clean it up. So I'm going to prep my eyelids with just a dab of the Chanel concealer. And I use the 10 beige, which is the lightest available shade. And it's actually, it works for me, but it's not incredibly light. But this is just going to be a nice base for the eyeshadow and anything we lay down. Since today I'm shopping my stash, I pulled out some old favorites. So here I have the 9-pan Le Beige Natural Eyeshadow Palette. This has to be one of my all-time favorite Chanel eyeshadow palettes. Unfortunately, it's no longer available, and it drew quite a following. It's the one product that I still get so many questions about. People ask me all the time if it will ever come back in stock. I have no idea. The one thing I will say is that it's a neutral palette, so I'm willing to bet every single one of you watching owns these shades in some form or another, probably in other palettes, but you have these colors on hand, so you can still follow along. With the fluffy brush, I'm gonna pick up this bottom shade right here. This is more of a neutral, medium intensity brown. It's matte. And then I'm just gonna buff that in the crease. I'm concentrating in the outer V, outer crease area, but I am gonna bring it in. The best thing about this palette is I think this was one of the first where you could really tell that Chanel upgraded the quality of their shadows. Anytime I use this eyeshadow palette, there's virtually no fallout. The shadows are pigmented. It's just so easy to use, easy to blend. And the shades are all very wearable. So it's kind of the perfect essential palette. I just received the email today about this year's Summer of Glow collection now available on Chanel.com. So I placed my order. That review should be coming at some point this week. But I know some people were sort of disappointed to see that there wasn't another 9-pan palette this year. So who knows, maybe they will release something in fall or holiday. That would be really exciting. Hopefully all of the madness will be over. Health will be restored. People will be back to work. With no additional product on the brush, I just blend on top of everything to make the transition nice and smooth. This next product I pulled out is a blast from the past. I believe this is still available, but I don't think people really talk about it anymore because it's so old and it's not really new and fresh, but it's still one of those products that every time I apply this to my eyes, it feels so special. It's this beautiful rose gold shimmer. It's the shade New Moon. So I'm picking that up on a synthetic brush. You can use your fingers, you can use a synthetic brush. I wouldn't try to go in with a fluffy brush. This one's pretty old, so it's a little bit dried out, but you can still use it. When I first got this, I think it was a little bit more of a gel cream. Now it's almost like a pressed pigment sort of consistency. I don't care, I'm still going to use it. It's so pretty. So this is going all over the lower lid. Wow, that is really dried out. Okay, I might need to wet my brush. Let me try that again. Actually, I'm gonna try with fingers. that's much better. Now if you have a new pot, it's probably fine to use whatever you have on hand, but once it hits that point where it's a little bit too crusty dusty, you have to resort to using your fingers to really pack it on. And you might be wondering, Erin, where are you going tonight with this shimmery eye? I am going to the couch and I am going to watch Netflix. We're in the middle of, well, not in the middle, towards the end of Tiger King. I don't know if any of you guys are into Netflix, watching that series. It's very bizarre. I can see why people are kind of going crazy about it, but I'm from Tampa. I know a lot of you guys probably know that. And I grew up not far from the big cat rescue. It makes me laugh because when I see people commenting on Facebook, if it's somebody that I grew up with, they kind of laugh like, haha, yeah, people are crazy here. Welcome to Florida. And then my non-Floridian friends or people from other areas, they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe people live like this and they're all crazy. I'm like, yeah, I know. Now, I've never been to Oklahoma, but I imagine the people of Oklahoma probably feel the same way I do. You're hoping that people don't start judging you by Joe Exotic. It got a little messier than I was hoping since I had to use my fingers, but I'm going to use my fingers for this next product anyway. So this is something that I found, and I never really used it after fall of last year because it just kind of went into the drawer, and then I think there were probably a dozen holiday collections released one after another and I became overwhelmed. So this is the Ombre Premier Top Coat in the shade 317 Carte Blanche. I think this is probably still available as well on Chanel.com. It's this beautiful shimmery eyeshadow topper, and it is also best applied with fingers, so I'm just gonna go in with my finger and I'm gonna put that right in the center. The Le Beige palette was fine, but because my new moon is so old, it crumbled a little bit on my cheeks, but that's okay, I can clean it up. That's why we started with eyes. So I am gonna go back with my original fluffy brush. I've picked up my Le Beige palette again, and I'm going in with this shadow right here. I don't want this look to get out of hand, get too smoky, but I do want to add a little bit of dimension in the outer V. So I'm just going to tap a little bit of this, kind of tap and swirl. Just kind of buff it into that outer corner. I've honestly been trying not to watch too much TV. In the evenings, it's inevitable because my husband will be out there watching something, and so I'll go out there and sit with him. But I've been trying to work on my Spanish, do spring cleaning, film, edit, anything, just to be really productive and keep my mind occupied. And that's been really helpful. I think getting into a routine, getting up in the morning, getting ready for the day, getting dressed, putting on makeup, it really does help. And then staying active. We've been lucky because we aren't on mandatory lockdown right now. We can take our bikes out and it's very safe. We have the bikes, we go together, we come back, we see no one, we speak to no one, we come in contact with nobody else. So that has been great to get some fresh air and to just kind of get your blood pumping again so that you don't feel restless kind of walking around the house all day. It's the one benefit. Making it to mile 59, top of the bridge. I get this killer view. I need to clean up my under eye, so I'm just gonna grab one of these makeup wipes. These are new for me, but I love them. It's the I Am Beauty Care Dead Sea Minerals Vitamin C Serum. They smell amazing. They're really gentle and they remove everything. And I wanna say they're pretty inexpensive as well. The under eye is now clean, so I'm ready to begin my face. If I were actually going somewhere, out for the day, evening, date night, whatever, I would go in with a little CC cream. My skin has been acting up lately. I have a lot of redness, some post-blemish marks. I would want to color correct that first before I went in with my foundation. Since I'm simply going to the couch, we're just gonna skip it. I don't want to add anything else that's unnecessary, especially sunscreen. So I'm just gonna go in with the Ultra Le Tint. I haven't used this foundation in such a long time. I was kind of excited to pull it back out. And it's a medium to full coverage, so this is a special occasion foundation. Because it doesn't have any SPF, I usually recommend this for brides or anybody who's going to have pictures taken. It's a beautiful formula. It's a natural matte finish. And I'm going to mix in some of the LeBlanc Rosy Light Drops. This is going to be my liquid illuminator du jour. I forget how thick that stuff is. That's 2 pumps. Now I'm gonna go in with the illuminator. It hasn't so much as moved on my hand, it just sort of plopped. But this will help sheer out the formula and it will thin it out a bit. So I'm just gonna mix that on the back of my hand. My Flawless Face is a Beauty Oil Liquid Illuminator Foundation. I'm not going in with the Beauty Oil for the same reason I'm not starting with the CC Cream. I'm just half-assing it, as they say. So now I'm going in with this rougher brush and I'm just gonna blend that out. Wow. I haven't used this foundation in such a long time. I sort of forget how it looks. The liquid illuminator really is the trick because that foundation is thick, but the liquid illuminator really helped sheer it out. So you can still see your skin underneath it. It won't be heavy. It's a beautiful foundation. I've always really liked it, but it can look heavy on the skin, so you just have to be careful whenever you're applying. So the liquid illuminator is really a nice touch. I'm impressed. That foundation might get pulled to the top drawer. I'm really happy with this combination. The Rosy Light Drops have been living in the top drawer, but because this is a matte finish, it works really nicely with the illuminator because that way you still have some natural glow. Now I'm going to do the same thing with my concealer. So I've applied a little bit to the back of my hand and I'm going to pump some of these Rosy Light Drops, just a smidge, and mix that up. It might look heavy right now, but the liquid illuminator has sheared it out, and so it'll be really easy to blend. I certainly want this video and my channel in general to be an escape for you guys right now, but I do have to say a huge thank you to anybody who is on the front lines, battling this in hospitals. Whatever you're doing, if you are out there and you are helping in some way where you can leave your house or you're forced to go to work, thank you. It needs to be said because you guys are truly the ones who are going to help us get through this. I know I've heard from some of you guys who say you still have to work, or you're a nurse, or perhaps your husband or somebody you know is a nurse, doctor. If you work in the medical field, even just first responders, anybody like that. If you're restocking the shelves at the grocery store, I salute you. It is so tough right now. Now that I've purposely added glow to my entire face, I don't want to mess that up. So I am going to set my under eye, but I'm going to use the Luminous Lay Beige powder. I think that's very important. If you're going to add a liquid illuminator and glow, but then you set with a matte powder, it sort of covers up the work that you just did. And the Lay Beige powders are very sheer, so it's not going to give you coverage. It's really just going to set. Another one of my favorite products of all time is the Soleil Tan de Chanel, now the Bronzing Cream, and I'm so excited that it is finally back in stock because it's been out of stock for the longest time while they were going through the repackaging. So now you can pick up the Bronzing Cream, which is identical to Soleil Tan de Chanel. I'm going in with the Smoothing Face brush from Bare Minerals, any sort of short kabuki. Synthetic hair is the key. It's so fast and easy, just a couple stipples and this whole area just blended right in. It's really amazing. And it's long lasting. it will last you a very long time. So with my skin tone, I think that's a pretty nice bronze. If you're a lot darker than me, this may not show up. If you're a lot more fair than I am, this might even be a little bit too much, although it's more of a gel cream texture, so you can sheer it out very sheer if necessary. But if you're very fair, you may not like the undertone. I know I said my thank you to medical professionals, but really I want to say thank you to everybody. You have no idea how much of a relief you've brought me. I know I hear from you guys saying that you're thankful to have YouTube creators and YouTube videos to watch as a distraction. And boy, am I thankful for the same thing, because creating videos is a distraction for me, and even just catching up with you guys in the comments. I always try to respond to everybody. Every once in a while I get overwhelmed. If I fall behind, sometimes I just start over the next day. Having this community here on YouTube has made social distancing a lot easier. I think if I didn't have this and I didn't have all of you guys to talk to, I might have already gone mad at this point. So thank you guys. Thank you for being a friend to me, and I hope you feel like I've been a friend to you. On mornings that I use this bronzer and I have to get out the door, I'm like, psh, 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 go. Bronze Goddess. It's so fast. Or you can just take all of the time in the world, because we don't actually have anywhere to be. And of course, you have to make sure that you put the protector back and make sure the little flap is facing up whenever you do. I've made that mistake before and it is a pain to try to pry it back out. It's a mistake you will only make once. And now for blush, I picked out the Tweed Pink blush. It is just so perfect for spring. It's one of my favorite products for spring. I mentioned it in that video. As well as my Chanel favorites video, the Tweed blushes got a shout out. And the pink is the only one that's available right now. I hope they come out with another shade. Maybe for summer, fall. I don't care. I just love the Tweed blushes. They're always really pigmented and they come out with unique shades. It's such a happy blush. You know, you have some products that every time you put it on, you just kind of smile. It lifts your mood. It just makes you happy to wear it. That's what this blush does to me. Can't really frown and be moody when you have this bright baby pink cheek. I think we subconsciously match our makeup to our mood. Have you ever experienced that, or have you seen that? I know I do. If I'm in a bad mood, I do a horrible job with my makeup, which is probably the opposite of what I should do. But on days that I'm really happy and excited, I take my time, I make sure that I use all of my favorite products. On days when I'm feeling miserable, I use my least favorite products. I like punish myself. So weird. I'm also going to dust a little bit on my nose. Look like an Easter bunny now. And I'm going to take a little bit on my temple. I did this the other day. I don't know what came over me, but I think it looks really pretty to take a little bit of your blush up on your temple. I have not used my white opal highlighter from Chanel in probably over 6 months, maybe 8 months. It's been a long time, but it gives that beautiful, ethereal, sort of iridescent pearly glow, so it's perfect for today's look. I'm excited to get this thing back in action. So pretty. Very awkward to apply on the right shoulder if you're right-handed, but it can be done. Looks a little bit funny. So last night, me and my girlfriends had a virtual happy hour. Have you guys participated in anything like that? I think it's kind of cool. That might be sort of fun for us to do. Maybe like a makeup virtual happy hour, or maybe a YouTube live situation, something like that, where we can have our own virtual happy hour. I just sort of thought of it, and maybe I'm talking nuts, but if that's something that you would be interested in, I'd set it up. I think that would be kind of cool. But it was so much fun. It was just nice to see a familiar face. The only places I've been going are the grocery store, and as much as I think they are lovely people, it's not a familiar face. It's so nice to just catch up with people. We're all basically doing the same thing, so it's not riveting conversation, but just to see their faces and, I don't know, listen to their stories, see their pets. There's something about seeing somebody's face. It just felt instantly comforting, like, oh, they're okay, they're safe. We're all gonna be okay. Using this very small, precise yet fluffy brush, I'm going to pick up our original brown, and I'm going to buff that very lightly underneath the lower lash line. I'm back. I filled in my eyebrows, I lined my top lash line with a little black liquid eyeliner, and I coated my lashes with mascara. You didn't miss anything else. So last up is lips, and I pulled out 3 products here. That's going to be my combination, starting with the Beige Natural Lip Liner, which is my favorite. I love all of the shades that I picked up, but the Beige Natural I just get the most use out of because it's the perfect nude. It goes with everything. I really need to sharpen it. It's scratching me. It's down to the wood part, but I'm just gonna keep going. Oh, it's painful. Oh my gosh. That's what I get for being too lazy. But what can I say? I'm too lazy. So now I'm going in with the Bois Rose number 27, the Rouge Crayon de Couleur. This is the little creamy lipstick stick. And I don't think this shade is available any longer. This came out with the spring collection last year, but there are so many similar shades, so I will link something that's nearly identical down below in case you're interested. It's just a really pretty pinky nude. So now I'm going to go in with the 119 Bourgeoisie lip gloss. I feel sort of sad that I reached the end. Seems pointless to spray my face. That would be the last step. I would usually mist something on there to set everything, make it last all night through the entire series as I binge on Netflix. I'm gonna skip that part. I turned the light way down so I can lean in and show you all of the details. So I'm about to get really close, just warning you. The foundation works really nicely with the illuminator. The illuminator and the opal highlighter go really nicely together, so this sort of slightly pink, iridescent, ethereal vibe we have going on looks nice. And I still kept the eye neutral, so I could do pink and shimmer on the eye as well, but I thought that might be a little bit too much. So this would be a spring day or evening look. I don't think it's too dramatic. It's not too dark. You could easily take this up a notch, add a little bit more depth in the outer corner, and this would be a date night look. For the most part, we kept it pretty soft on the eyes. This may be too dark for some people. I think this is daytime. I'm sitting back for a minute before I turn the lights back up, and this is what it looks like, just in case this lighting is a little bit better for you. You can see everything. I have so many lights reflecting on my face, I think it does enhance the glow a little bit. If I were out in natural daylight, my complexion wouldn't be quite so glowy. It would still glow, but not like this. It's a tricky thing because studio lighting, of course, looks very different from daylight. So sometimes it can affect the way a product looks on the skin, but this is the best I can do. Hopefully you get a good idea, or at least a nice feel for these products. And that completes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, your questions down below. If you guys have any great video ideas, drop me a comment. I have my lists ready to go, but if anybody throws out a better suggestion, I will switch things up. As always, I will be listing everything mentioned, everything that I have today on my face down in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.